The print, 13th of September 2023, Chinese nationals perpetrate fresh phishing schemes in Thailand, Burma, and Cambodia. There is a scamdemic. A long-standing issue has returned with a vengeance in China since it opened its economy last year and abandoned its zero-COVID policy. Chinese authorities are battling the problem of their nationals running fraudulent operations against Chinese residents on the mainland out of Southeast Asian nations. China has a history of using criminal organizations to further its political goals and working with organized crime syndicates in nations like Australia, Canada, and Taiwan. However, Chinese nationals suffer because human trafficking and telecom fraud are becoming more common in Myanmar and the Golden Triangle region. Online scams and human trafficking are just two illegal behaviors called the scamdemic. The Golden Triangle region, which includes Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar, is well known for producing illicit opium and other illegal operations, and Cambodia serves as the epicenter of these activities. The global threat posed by Chinese-based human trafficking. In Cambodia, Sihanoukville has long been recognized as a hub for Chinese nationals involved in illegal activities, such as gambling. But these scams, which started in Cambodia, have already spread industrially and discouraged Chinese travelers from traveling to this once preferred location. Interpol issued a warning in June on internet scam centers that operate out of Cambodia and have networks that reach into Laos and Myanmar. According to Interpol, at first, most human trafficking victims were from countries where people speak Chinese, including China, Malaysia, Thailand, and Singapore. But victims are increasingly found from all over the world, including South America and Europe. In Southeast Asia, work scams have even been seen to target Indian people. A global human trafficking crisis has emerged from what started out as a regional crime threat, stated Interpol Secretary General Jürgen Stock. Other organizations are raising the alarm besides Interpol. The UN said in August that more than 1 million people had been trafficked into Cambodia and a further 20,000 into Myanmar. The governments of Cambodia and Myanmar appear to have tacitly supported the scam centers, which have been heavily targeted in recent months by the Chinese Public Security Bureau. In the Golden Triangle, an area that comprises parts of Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar, are two major hiding places of the fraudsters. According to the Ministry of Public Security, it has intensified the fight against telecom and online fraud. Since the start of this year, the ministry has sent teams to cooperate on international law enforcement, with strong crackdowns on telecom fraud and human trafficking, to countries like the Philippines, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos, a China Daily story stated. Later, the report was posted on the Supreme People's Court of China's website. Communist Party members pose a threat to China's international security. In a recent cooperative effort, Chinese police and local law enforcement in Myanmar closed about 11 dens engaged in fraudulent activities. 269 people, including 189 Chinese nationals, were taken into custody due to the bust. China's Ministry of Public Security in northern Myanmar initiated a significant crackdown on telecom frauds. As a result, 1,207 suspects were transferred from Myanmar to Chinese law enforcement officials in Yunnan. These offenders were taken into custody in telecom fraud cases that targeted Chinese nationals. There are still issues even though better relationships between China and Myanmar have made it possible for Chinese public security organizations to carry out policing operations in that nation more successfully. It's interesting to note that a brand new Chinese blockbuster film called No More Bets, which opens in 2023, warns viewers about the risks of falling into scams and being tricked into accepting jobs in Southeast Asia. The movie narrates the tale of a Chinese computer programmer and model who are offered high-paying employment abroad but instead join a trafficking network that extorts Chinese citizens to labor for an online scam. With almost $500 million in its first month of release, the film has been a huge hit, raising awareness of the problem of human trafficking. Chinese nationals increasingly seek investment and employment possibilities in Southeast Asia as their home country's economic prospects deteriorate. However, in politically unstable areas, they frequently become trapped in a web of frauds where their fellow citizens entice them into illegal activity. Gaining impact. The Global Security Initiative, launched by Chinese President Xi Jinping, is a tool for policymaking that aims to extend China's influence beyond its borders in national and human security. China can use its security institutions to achieve specific goals, as demonstrated by the crackdown in Cambodia and Myanmar. This illustrates China's increasing influence in the area. Given his country's severe economic difficulties, Xi is eager to demonstrate his will to combat widespread fraud schemes affecting Chinese citizens. In light of this, the crackdown constitutes an unprecedented show of power in Southeast Asia. It is frequently easy to overlook that people are the primary agents of geopolitical power in high-table diplomacy. Asia has become a destination for Chinese nationals looking for fresh possibilities and a backyard for China's externalized power projection. The academic crackdown demonstrates China's willingness to extend the reach of Chinese public security institutions by using its externalized enforcement authority to handle domestic issues on a never-before-seen scale.